Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper. This is another video on King Arthur Legends Rise. Today in this video, I want to talk to you about all the different resources and all the traps that may be associated with those resources. But first, let me tell you some exciting news. Number one, on this channel, this very channel you're watching this, I will be returning. I am coming out of retirement temporarily for the 2025 free-to-play challenge with Raid Shadow Legends. It's been about 9 months since I played Raid Shadow Legends. It is going to be interesting, but that's going to be as of 2 p.m. my time today. So by the time you watch this video, it'll probably already going. I'll be doing videos, recap videos a couple times a week on the channel. And that leads into number two. I am going to be returning to Twitch, streaming 3 days a week, starting Saturday, but the days will be Friday, 6 p.m. till 9 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. till noon, and Sunday, 9 a.m. till noon, all Central Standard Time. Once Daylight Savings begins, that'll be Mountain Standard Time because my province does not observe Daylight Savings. So that's where I'll be. Twitch, it is twitch.tv/madcapperyt. I hope to see you guys there if you want to see me implode, playing different games such as King Arthur, Raid, Godforge when it shows up, Watcher of Realms, all different things are on the as well as any AAA titles. I mean, if we ever see any good games out there, I've been playing Cyberpunk again, so that might be something. I might even drag up because I prefer playing it actually on console, believe it or not. I might even bring up my Series X or what's the X1X, the X one, the good one. That's what I have. I don't have a Sony because I don't play enough games to justify spending another $600. But we'll play any and all games. I love hanging out with you guys, and it's an opportunity for Mrs. Capper also to show up once in a while, maybe on those Friday games. Maybe we'll do live summons on Twitch. That'll be fun as well. And then my hope is to record those events and then make clips out of them to put on the channel so that even if I am busy and I don't have a whole lot of time to record additional stuff during the week, I'll still have stuff for you guys to watch for those of you who missed. So that's what's going on the channel. Very much looking forward to it. Now let's get into the King Arthur video, which is talking about all the different resources in the game and where the traps associated with those resources may be. Now, there are so many different resources in this game. You can see some of them here. You have stamina, you have crystals, you have gold, you have iron and lumber or wood. You need it all. And it can sneak up on you if you're not paying attention, as well as you had like you can see all the flashes. Oh, we got another one. So let's go through and try to show you where these different resources are going to be used and some warnings about some traps regarding some of these different resources. Now, at one point, I thought I could actually look at all the different resources, and maybe I'm wrong. I thought I clicked on it by accident once, and apparently I did not. Does this show all resources here in inventory? Not shard shop. I need to go back there. We'll talk about that. So here's basically all the different resources in the game. I have little spatterings of both, and all of them are seemingly equally important and really something you want to keep an eye on when trying to play this game. The first one you can see is the summonables. Now, these are Lake Avalon. You are going to have relic summonings, of which I'm missing currently Storm. I just did a 10 pull, so I'm at 0. As well as the champion summonings. Now, this is the banner up. This is the standard legendary. This is the standard common, uncommon. Then you've got these ones here, which is the chivalry ups. And so the first thing you want to talk about is when to use these. Well, the special summons, anytime you have a 10 pull of any of the bottom 4, I would say feel free to go ahead and pull them. We're actually going to pull at the end of this video, just as an extra bonus for you guys. We're going to pull this to a legendary, so we're going to do 2 10 pulls, and then we're actually, against my better judgment, we're going to pull 60 to this. Gilroy's not that good, but he could get fixed. Plus, there's a few other raid ups on here, so we will pull that at the end of the video. But the key to this one is this one only lasts the time frame of the banner. So if you're sitting here with 10 summons left to get your guaranteed legendary, and this timer runs out, it's going to be 60 all over again. So do not forget to pull. or you will lose that tracker. However, this one is permanent, so this 15 will last until I hit that 15. And same with these 4 here, or these 3 here. So that's why I say these 4 are easy to pull. You can pull them anytime. This one here, I pull whenever it hits 10 as well. This is also where you get your freeze. This is only going to be common to rare availability, and the rares are very rare. So you don't have to worry about any of them except for the rate up on when to pull. So that's the first currency in the game. As far as the rest of the currencies, I think the best way to look at them is from the character screen. Because as I mentioned in the last video, there is a lot of development that you can do on this champion. And let's go through them all. The first thing you have is your champion development. And that's all right here, hero power up. So if we go here, there's the level, and that uses the experience potions to level them up in increments of 10 to the next star rating. And then once they're maxed, you have to advance them using a different set of materials. Let's go to one that's not up yet, that isn't level 60. See one here that's 50, for example. For here, you can see there are 3 materials needed to get from 50 to 60. There is your Plane of Beasts mana orbs, and they go from, I think, common up to the mythic. There are your Draconic Fairy Stones. Now, the Fairy Stones you can get from the main story or Clan Shopper Market. I wouldn't buy them. I would say you can just farm your main story. Just make sure you're farming an area of the main story that's dropping, whichever you need. You see I have a ton of them. You have to do 10 a day for your dailies, so why not make sure you alternate between all of these, and you can gather a pretty easy amount. That's not a very rare resource. On the 7s of these stories, and that's whether it's main or whether it's hell or hard or anything in between, you can drop these pieces. Now these are only needed at the highest levels. If I pick someone who's a little lower on the list, you can see they don't need that 3rd resource. So that's only, I think, to get to at least from 50 to 60. Maybe it's 40 to 50 as well. I don't think I have one. Oh, I do. Yeah, so it's not even 40 to 50. It's just 50 to 60. So that's a resource you need to advance them. Now you also have to awaken them. That's the little pink stars. Now, these ones are very scarce. They're available to purchase. That's a scam. And I'll tell you, because if you look at how much it costs, for example, to take from 5 to 6 star on a legendary, and we do have some available here. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I made. Let's just even take a look on a rare from 50 to 60. If I want to advance her awakenings, she needs 25 of these. You get 2 per farm of the Forbidden Dungeon, and that's it. And these you can farm ad nauseum in the Favor Dungeon when it's open, so these are a little bit less of an uncommon resource, though it will be expensive, especially in areas where you're not hitting 9 or 10, the top levels. It can take quite a few farms to get here. Let me tell you the amount of the thousands of energy I got to be able to level him, and he needed 70, I believe, and 50 of the pillars. So the pillars are one pinch point. So don't make my mistake. If you see the mistake, I mean, you should, if you're not new, you should see the mistake I made. Why is he 5 star already? But she's only 2 star. Take your champions to 3 star to open up the orb. And then only your key champions would I take to that 7th star. Ones that you're using all the time and that you're relying on. There's a couple here I wish I could take back. Don't put any stars into champions you don't want to use. And that's a huge mistake I made because I was chasing dots early in the game. And you can see 2, 1, 3, 2, 3. These are just wasted resources I didn't need to put in these champions. 5 in Kalech, and I don't even use them. Though I will use them probably in the Forbidden Dungeon. I'm just not there yet. So really pay attention. Again, these aren't hard to get. You just have to farm the favor. It's all about stamina. Now, stamina is a bit of a pinch point, but definitely over time you can get them. The pedestals, however, you've got a monthly in the Forbidden Dungeon and a weekly in the clan shop, if I recall. Or maybe I got it the other way around. Yeah, see, weekly pedestals, you can buy 10 of them, so that's not a lot. That can get one guy to one uncommon. So just keep in mind that when awakening your champions, pick a champion, focus on awakening that champion, pick the champions you use. There's probably 8 that are your most important champions. Get them to 3, and then pick one, get it to 6. Pick the next one, get it to 6, and work that way. around it. And when the favor is open, do some battles, but if you need equipment more, don't focus on that until you're ready to. Or on the flip side is just pick a week where you're going to be like, this is the week I'm just going to farm the crap out of the favor dungeon as each one opens. Keep in mind on Sunday, all of them are open for a period of time. But that just gives you the opportunity to farm all of the awakening units here so that you can get them. Like even this is a rare. I have enough, but I need 7, 15 of these. So I need 8 more of these just to get her to her 4th awakening, which just gives her some stats. Next one just gives her stats. It's all the way up to 6 before I can open her banner. So it's a big deal. The flip side is banners are a big deal on your main damage, especially dealing. But I think main champions of all types, whether you're looking for pierce, whether you're looking for additional crit damage, whether you're looking for, I think there's a speed banner. So keep in mind that those banners are very impactful, but you want to get those first on the most impactful champions. Okay. Now, the next up we have is the skill level up. Now, these are not the active skills that you see at the bottom. This is something I didn't realize at the very beginning. These are passives that attach to the particular skills no matter what relic you're using. So, for example, Ein here, who is very strong, when an ally is hit, 50% chance to increase buff durations of all allies by 1 turn, removes 1 debuff from all allies. And this has a cooldown time, regular of 3, down to 2, and then you can get the buff up to 2, and you can get that passive activation rate at plus 10%. Very impactful. You see this one here, this is the main one I wanted to go. When using skill 2, which is her counterattack buff, 100% chance to grant all allies 2-turn counterattack, and 100% chance to grant all allies critical strike damage for 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown now that I have the passive. So very important to use these, but these are hard to get. You get them from the Master of Death. These are easy to get. You farm them from the story. You can again just pour 1,000 into one of the levels. You can multitask too if you need those little black baubles to be able to skill up. You need, for example, one particular storm or frost or whatever awakening to get the other part of the skill up, and you need the brooches. Then you just go into the main story hard and you see which one is going to make the most sense for me. You can't get any of the black ones from here, so you're gonna have to pick, say, I think 8-5 for example. If I need more of the Twin Eagle Fairy Stones, I can pick them up along with brooches. Now it shows just the one, but that I've witnessed, it is all of the different brooches, and you can get the rare Faint Soul Stones. So you can multitask here as you see fit, as your account is needed. So just make sure you're farming these. If it says like, we'll go to 10-5 for example, it's only showing the attack, it drops all of them. So don't worry about that. It's a percentage chance for each of them, and this is the only place you can get them. So, and see here, it shows that you can't get the brooch from anywhere. That's because it's just a general pool of all 3 brooches. So just keep that in mind. Those are easy to get. These are difficult. You only get 6 turns total for the 2 different, your relic and your champion. So these, treat them like gold, and I had made so many mistakes doing this, but treat them like they are the most precious material on earth, because they are. And similar to your awakenings, pick the champion that is the most important to you. Get that one there first. Aim for a skill that you need, this one, and then move on. I was not so lucky, but in turn, I do get a skill 3 piece here, which attacks all enemies 2 times. And then there's a nice cooldown on it down to, is that 4 down to 2 or is that 6 down to 4? I feel like that's 4 down to 2, but I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember from using it. Maybe it is 4 turns. So anyway, there's your opportunity there. Definitely really hold on to these like they're the cup of life or something. Chivalries is the final one. Now there's 2 ways. Copies of the champion is the easiest way, and there's also these materials which we talked about that help you level up the chivalries. Treat these like almost the second or third most rare thing in the game. Your goal is to get your champions to chivalry 3, especially your legendaries. If you're a whale, you're going to get more of those, so you're going to be fine, but you're probably going to use it using copies of the champion. But really make a decision here. These 20 are not easy to get, so when you get them, really look at what champion. For example, what's going to be more impactful? getting this, which decreases attack gauge by 10% and inflicts recovery disruption for 1 turn when an ally attacks an enemy with abnormal status. Wow, that's a whole lot of conditions to get there. What would be more impactful is maybe if my defensive champion has Queen's Dignity to Queen's Counter, which is a completely different style. The Queen's Dignity, 40% chance to reflect damage. The Queen's Counter reflects a percentage to all enemies, inflicts mark, and increases the duration of mark, and a 50% chance to trigger. That's a much more impactful than what it currently is. So this would be more impactful to my teams, if of course I'm using her at level 3. Another one, maybe we want to get definitely Chivalry 1. I don't know if this is the guy I would use it on, because you can buy copies of him over time. But the Chivalry 1 is a big deal. It deals increased damage, inflicts attack speed decrease 2 on a single enemy for 1 turn. He doesn't do that otherwise. So just think about what you're doing with these. And of course, legendaries are for legendaries, rares are rares, commons are commons. So the rares, you're probably going to have a little easier time doing these. Yeah, I need 5 more. We've almost got her going. We got her to 8. That's the important one. So again, do I want to push her towards 10, which is just giving her some additional base or stats? I guess element compatibility isn't necessarily a base stat, but is that going to be more impactful, or getting Chivalry 8 on my Anguish? Is that going to be, when attacking, 50% chance to inflict bleed? Hey, another dot. That sounds great. So just keep that in mind when using those. They are pretty rare. Obviously, the rare ones are the hardest to get, the legendary ones. But the rare ones are going to give you a better chance to get to those Chivalry 8s. And of course, uncommons. Uncommons are actually pretty easy to get over time. Just you'll get the champions. So I don't even know if I've even used any of the... well, he's already Chivalry 10. I pull a lot of shards. It's a problem. It's a drug. Yeah, I do have... Yes, I'm working on it. Oh, God. Is there any that's not 10? I don't think there's any more. Okay. So as you can see... Oh, there's one there. I have 60. I won't even use it because she's got hers here. So, again, we can put her to Chivalry 10. What's eventually going to happen is I'm going to sell the additionals to the shard shop to be able to get other things I need in the relic world. So that is all the resources to do with the champion enhancement. Now there's equipment enhancement. Equipment enhancement itself is only, I don't know why I equipped her, is only gold. So that's a good thing. But to manufacture equipment takes a ton of different resources. So if you go into the forge here, you'll see all the resources available. Each set has similar, but some of them change. You see on the right one here, you're always going to need the simple catalyst. You're always going to need the rare iron of ignite of protection. And then this is the leather of Apoela. You're going to have the legendary Moonlight Lakestone. These are available in the 3 different equipment dungeons and in the various areas within the story. For example, the Moonlight Lakestones are available in the stories. I actually feel like they were available in Apoela. Is that what it's called? But maybe I'm wrong. So you just got to farm these resources. They're available. These are the scarce ones, and these increase your rate, but they come a lot more scarcely. Also, keep in mind as you go up, the quality and therefore the scarce ability of the resources increases. I would say don't be using these rate ups unless you're running 5-6 star gear. And again, you can see with belts, there's going to be a whole different set. Again, the first 2 are the same throughout, and the third one will switch from cog to a opal, and to the dagger, or what do they call them? Mythic Hands of Time. Oh, it's like a clock. Okay. And then, of course, the binding chain. So these resources are very scarce. You want to hold on for dear life, and you want to pray to dear God when you run these different belts, baubles, and, of course, the mythical banner. So that's all the resources here. But down here, it still also costs you, at a 6-star, 50,000 gold, 25,000 lumber, and 25,000 iron. That's a big deal because you don't accumulate that much iron, and you also need lumber and iron to actually upgrade your fortress. I have yet to really determine whether it's more important to continue to leveling up here or whether it's more important to forge gear. I am leaning towards once you have the very specific need met. So, for example, I have a banner. I'm going to go for a banner until I get the banner I need. And then I'm going to stop making banners because I want to conserve the amount of lumber and iron for leveling up your kingdom. What do I mean? So if you go to any area that has these little houses on it, so let's go into the forge. Let's go into here. To get to level 5, it's going to require 745 and 497,000 materials, respectively, which, as you can see, I'm nowhere near. So being able to get there is going to take some time. Now, I've already got Cast 11, which means this is one that, as soon as I get the materials, I can do. But is it more important for me to get that level 5 forge? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. So with that, the next resource, we'll go back to the hero screen because now we got to talk about relics. So relics themselves are a resource. There's 3 different times. I know it's strange that it says 10, but they come in 10. So if you pull it from the Lake Avalon or you purchase it from the shard summoning area, shard shop, either way, when you buy one, you get a set of 10, and then you can unlock this, which gives it the ability to use. Then you have to upgrade it. You can skill level up it, and that costs the most important, or maybe second, depending on the passive, I guess it's equal, 1A, is again these legendary tomes, especially Frost. And this comes from the Master of Apocalypse, which shares its 6 a day with the same masteries that level up your passives. So keep that in mind. You also have the Relic Breath, which you can farm the Relic Breath in the Polar Bear. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called. The advancements, which again, the same as before. These you can level up. This is to level each one. I can go to one that's not full. Actually, I think his. So if we go in here and we go to the advance, you see the Relic Breath you can use. The advancements uses these 3. Pretty easy to get. Main story. You can farm those pretty easy. These I seem to have all the time. They come from the Frozen Plain, but I need the level up stuff way more than I need the material, the Mythic Star Seeds. So I've actually have quite a few Mythic Star Seeds. And then you have the Perfect Polishing Stone, which is available in certain, again, you see the 10/7s, that's where they go. So if you need these, make sure you're on one of the ones that gives you this instead of the champion one. So if you look here, you may notice if we go to hard story, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Guess what? If you go back to the champion advancement, now I have to go to a different champion for it. So if we go to our boy here and we go to his skill ups, his advancement. Oh, he's not high enough level yet. That last group is that bauble. Here, I know, we'll find a 50. There. Oh, I was in the wrong. Oh my god, I'm a mess. It's terrible. It's terrible. Why are you guys even listening to me at this point? Boom. Okay. If I want to advance her, this one here, you'll notice goes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. That was my whole point. So it's alternating. So make sure you're choosing one or the other depending on what you need when you're doing your dailies and you're running in there. Just take a look at what you have and make sure that you're using it appropriately. So now back to the relics. So we've talked about the skill up. These tomes are very, very scarce. Use them better than I have. These stones are not so scarce. You just get them from main story. Similar to the champion level passives, the skills here. The awakenings here, these stones, again, come from Shrine of Storms. It, for me, is one of the hardest, but I haven't really focused on it. I suspect that you should be able to get these fairly common once you hit your level 10s, and you can just put a couple of rounds of energy into it. But keep in mind that the common ones are kind of harder to get because there's a point at which they don't really drop as much. So you might have to go to a lower level just to farm some of those. I found that was a life hack that saved me some time. So there's also the advancement. These come from, I think I've already talked about, from the Frozen Plain. And then you have, of course, the skill level ups. Okay, we've talked about all these. Good. So that's the relic leveling system, which is independent from the champion. Remember, your champion passives will happen to whatever skill it says so, regardless of which of these you have equipped. Which one you want to equip and skill up depends on what you're using and how you're using it and what skills you need. So there's a lot of going on here. I think that is covering all of the different resources in this sweet, sweet game. I guess what it really comes down to is, hey, just pay attention to what you're leveling, pay attention to who you're leveling, don't chase red dots like I did, and make sure that you're picking a focus. So my next focus for legendaries is Morgan. So for example, I want this passive cooldown time because I do like the buff removal and the attack gauge manipulation. So we want to make sure we get that passive done. So once I get to that, I'm not going to worry about the first passive. I'm going to move on to the next. But for relics, I also want to make sure I'm getting her relics fully leveled up next. But I still have a little bit to go. My first one is his relic. The important one still needs 2 more awakenings. So that's kind of where I'm focusing is this is where I have to get into Shrine of Storms and actually work on that shrine. It's terrible. I'm only at 6 or I think 7. So I can't even farm these. I don't think I've done 7 yet. Yeah, it's my first clear. So I'll have to pay attention to that. I know this has to do a lot with manipulating his turn meter, so I'll figure it out. I do have the champion for it. Maybe I just need a different relic on the bald dude on my keepsake that looks like a midget when you have him on his relic. Yeah, I need this one, I believe, which I don't have. Anyway, all that garbage to say, manage your resources very tightly in this game. Be very purposeful. Don't do like I did. Be very purposeful. Now, you do get 2 resets. I've already used them twice because I made choices that in retrospect were not for the best of my account. And so I had to twice, and I actually need a third one, but it just isn't in the card, so it is what it is. But really be purposeful on who you're leveling and to what level and why. Tristan, for example, would I love to put more into him? Sure. Does he need it? Nope. Where I use him most commonly now, I'm at level 10, and I don't have a problem, so don't bother leveling. Now, the part that you've all been looking for and waiting for, let's open up some shards. We got 82. Let's start here, because we're going to get one in one of the 2 pulls. Now, always pull in 10s because you get a guaranteed rare. That is not necessarily the case if you pull singly. So you just want to make sure. So we did get the rare here. Let's see. We got 3 rares. That's always good. We'll skip out through here. Find out which one it is. We don't need her, but that gives me more. Hey, we got our level 10 on Turin. And we got a 7 on our Isolde. So that's really nice. Now let's pull one more 10 pull, and this will be the guaranteed legendary. The beautiful, beautiful gold. Let's take a sip of coffee. Who do I want here? I want copies. I need Clarison. And I don't know what else. The power. Oh, we got him. Hector. I already have a bunch of them. So that's fine. We got 9 there. We got 6 there. So that's good. Anytime we're getting rares that we don't have at 10, or frankly, if we do, because we need the shards, we can buy stuff then. But we did get a legendary Gawain. I called him Hector. I don't know why. A legendary Gawain. We already have a level 2, so that gives him our 3rd. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Now we'll go to the raid up. This is against my better judgment, but I do it for you guys. I don't want any more Gilroy. I don't find him very usable. I don't find him very worthwhile. At this point, I'm sure at some point he will be, but I'm a little bit scared about getting him. Though there is a raid up on other champions that I am hoping for, so... Alright, we got nothing there. We got Nicholas. I don't really use Nicholas. He is kind of okay with Rosie, but he's my favorite champion, though I don't use her near enough. I should show you, there is a raid up, and if you go to the raid info, he's obviously the big raid up, but there's actually 4 others. I've pulled Gawain and Lot. I've pulled a Claudius, I think 2 Gawain. I had one before this raid up, and now I got another one, of course, from regular, which is like terrible. And then you see there's a raid up on all the raids of all the different champions. Always you can pull that to see what click on that to see what the rates of the individual champions are. So let's hope for Clarissa. That's her name, right? Clary. We'll call her Clary. So we got 3, an 8, a 6, and another burn. Another burner. Can I just make 2 of her? No, you can't. I know. I was hoping to get an early one. It hurts my soul. Ooh, that was a bad pulls. Well, at least it's from someone that we can use. Come on, give me the early. Give me the early so I can stop pulling. Nope. No saving for me this game. Oops, there's 2 there. Okay. Come on, give me early. One. Boo. Boo. Okay, I think this is the one, right? Yes. All right. Don't be Gilroy. Don't be Gilroy. I mean, whatever. If it is, it is. I'm not going to be upset, but I do hope it's not him. So we got Urian. Are you kidding me? Well, now we got 2 copies, more copies. He's not bad, and my understanding is he getting a buff, or he's going to be looking a little bit better? I believe he's getting a buff in the patch, so maybe I'm not too upset about that. We will get him to 4th Chivalry here. Let's just take a look at him. We did not pull Gilroy, and that's what I asked for. So that's on me. And frankly, I'm okay with that. I think we don't have him at 60 yet, but he might be our next, just for giggles. So his Chivalry 1 gives him the skill enhancement, strengthens the Knight of May to Guardian of May, which is when it's hot and sunny, he gets badass. His attack percentage, 10%. The big one here, we're going to get Haze changes hero's attack gauge by 70. Haze charges this hero's attack gauge by 70 and grants damage dealt increase 1 for 1 turn. So I guess that's a good thing. And then we get skill 3 damage increases. It doesn't tell us by what, but it says that we get an increase in damage. Let's take a look at those skills. Skill level up. Let's take a look. The first one here is a passive. Gain blessing for 2 turns. Adds the number of turns and the max number of uses. So right now this has 1 use. It'll change it to 2 uses. His skill 2 adds 1 extra use if I get a skill up there, but on a passive cooldown. So he can use this right away. It's a 1-turn cooldown, but it's only 1 single use. If he gets a second use, it'll be on an 8-turn cooldown. So he'll get to use it 8 turns later. So in future, maybe sustained fights or fights that are long even right now, might be a better. So what the skill 3 will do with this passive is change the weather to day and heat, charges the attack gauge, and gains damage dealt increase for 1 turn. Now that was based on what we just got on his Chivalries, because his attack gauge would have been less. It added to it and included the gain of damage dealt increase 1. Whew. And then his A1, which is where everything went in now, is 100% chance to gain Guardian of May, 100% chance to gain Guardian of May, chance to gain hit accuracy increase 1 for 2 turns. Now what it says is Guardian of May, which gives you attack 10, defense 5. But didn't I just get his Chivalry, which changes Guardian of May? Oh, so Knight of May was 5%, but now it's Guardian of May, which is 10% attack, 5 defense. Okay, so there you go. That's what we pulled. That's what we got. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Hopefully I will see you on Twitch or in a video coming soon after this one, sometime before the next one after that, somewhere in the middle. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.